What's good? What's good? What's good? What he do? What he do? What he do? This is your boy OTR Mic Drop, aka Premonition Mic Drop. You already know it's Thursday. We about to rock with it. It's showtime, y'all.
What it do, what it do, what it do? This your boy Jay, aka Rantin' Jay, aka Full Time Jay, aka Thursday Night Jay, and soon to be the Oracle.
What's going on, everybody? This your man Trey, aka OTR Trey, aka Treyway, aka Thursday Night Trey, and yeah, man, the trio is in the building.
Listen. I'm about to be hating Mic Drop real quick. You got one more goddamn time to post no goddamn video at a live event. Especially when I ain't there. Talk about where Rantin' Jay.
I couldn't find him.
Nah, just joking. You did find him.
I did find him.
Technically, I found him because he walked right by me.
Nah, that joke was dope. That joke was dope. I like that. Though.
I saw your family before I saw you. That's how I knew you was there.
You was still walking with Calvin, and then I was like, Trey, you turned around and you went, oh, there he is.
Hey man, I was trying to get content for the show. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I like that.
And then,
that
you know what
cool.
I'm saying? And, me on the search.
So
I try to do it I try to do it in parts.
So let me ask, how was the show?
Oh, well, yeah, that is actually one of our topics. Trey and Jay talk about their experience at Monday Night Raw on Netflix in Charlotte. So you can go ahead and start, Jay.
I'll start with the show was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that paid the extra money for the Yeet section got fleeced.
Because Gunther came out the Yeet section.
Do you notice that they always do that shit in Charlotte?
Yes.
Man.
They always do that shit in Charlotte.
When I seen that, John, I was like,
they shit on Charlotte so hard. And they normally don't do it. They normally don't do us like that on Raw. They normally shit on us more on SmackDown.
Yeah,
they definitely got fleeced. But overall, I mean, the show was decent.
It was a regular show.
Yeah, there was nothing special about it. I mean, I'd say the best match was the Elimination Chamber match with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Finn Balor.
Okay.
That was the best match. And then I would say Naomi and Bianca showing up in the Bring It On costume, the outfits. I give them
jump and live.
Yeah, she had the grill in.
Yeah, she had the grill in. So I give them props for that one.
Whew, it must have been some toros in that atmosphere. Whew.
That's a bring it on reference for y'all that don't know.
Yeah.
Because at first when they came out, I was like, "Oh shit, these motherfuckers!" I was like, "Where Gary Union at, bro?"
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. I enjoyed myself. I was one of the only people in my section. When the Judgment Day popped up on the screen, I was like, "Yeah." Everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
Oh, you was trolling?
I wasn't trolling. I was being legit. And then when Dom came out there, I was like, "Yeah." And then when he got spared by Braun Strowman, I was like, "Get him next time, bro." But I was trying. Jay, did you notice any difference between it being on USA and it being on Netflix? Did you notice a difference?
Honestly, being at the live show, no. Now, the only thing that I noticed that they do more now that they're on Netflix versus when they were on USA are the interviews that are up in the stands and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That was about where I was.
Yeah, they have a lot more like interview segments, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that they do more of that now that they're on Netflix. But honestly, the overall show, no, it feels like it's just on USA. It's just the damn ticket prices and the prices of everything that they sell, all the merch and stuff, overpriced shit.
Did y'all get to see the drone and stuff flying? Did they use that?
So I saw the guy. So where I was sitting at, I was sitting by the entrance, like right where the Titan, little Titantron is.
Yeah.
So you could see the guy putting the drone up, and then you can see the dude behind the Titantron and a little bat controlling it with the computer and everything like that. So,
Got you.
I mean, that was pretty cool. I like that aspect.
Yeah.
The seating of where you can kind of see where kind of backstage behind the scenes a little bit.
Going
Some
towards the
dude,
gorilla area.
yeah, some dude was screaming at Liv Morgan when she was headed out and she flicked him off. That was funny.
Yeah, because that was right by your section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
talking about some I love you, and she flicked him off.
yeah, and I told Trey I had seen him. I was like, it was damn. It wasn't hard to see Frosty up there in the stands. White toboggan, white hoodie and shit. So
Nah, I liked it. I liked how when the show first started, it did the thing like when you turn on Netflix, it was like the doom and the
Yeah.
end popped up. So I did like that. I was like, okay, it's like we really cutting on Netflix. But other than that, it seemed like a regular show.
yeah.
Nothing too different. I did enjoy seeing because when I first looked over, I was like, who is that? I was like, oh shit, that's Bailey. And then because dude was doing the interview, and everybody was looking like, where the hell he at? And all we had to do was turn to the left. Well, my left, and they were right there. So I was like, okay, because he did her, Kaiser, Dakota, and I don't know if there was one more, but I was like, okay, so that's where they go. So I was like, okay, so that's where they go when they do it. As far as overall, I mean, it was a good show. It was a decent show. I'll put it like that. We did get the crowd doing the yeet because he did after he chased Gunther away, he did do the yeet. He did still do the slaps with the commentators.
Yeah.
I got to see who I wanted to see. So, I mean, it was overall a pretty decent show. Now, Jay, what do you think about that botch with Finn and Seth?
Man, look.
You
when
said
the crowd
what?
started screaming refuse the botch when the ref he really counted 3, but that's when Seth did it with the suck it.
Yeah, I was like, even watching from home, I was like, yo, that was an apparent 3, my guy. You kind of fumbled that.
Yeah, he definitely fumbled the shoulder thing, but you could tell the show must go on, But the fans let the ref have it though.
And they caught that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, caught that immediately. Started chanting the ref you suck, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this though. As much as I love WWE, y'all need to treat Charlotte better. Y'all need to treat us better, man.
I agree. Especially since we're a spot where you have at least 3 shows a year, you know what I'm saying, on top of at least one pay-per-view like every other year, whether it's NXT or, you know what I mean, like a regular thing.
And then think about it like this. 3 people, 2 of your biggest stars, and one that is over with the fans. Cody, Charlotte, and R-Truth are all from Charlotte. I would think that you would want to put on a little better of a show when you have that level of star power that are actually from this city. I do like the fact that the last 2 times I've gone to Raw, even though Cody wasn't on the show, he did do the dark match. So I do appreciate that.
So let me tell you this, okay? This is the one thing that I don't like or did not like, okay? And I'm be real. The dark match was pretty dope when Cody came out, even though he fought Mello. Whatever, cool.
We got to see Mello. He fought Dom last time.
Yeah, after the dark match, he's talking to the crowd and everything, and doing his little crowd work stuff, whatever. Then he goes and he pulls out one of his belts that's already signed.
I know what you about to say.
Now, this is the part that I don't like, okay? I would much rather you just be straight up and just be honest and just be like, hey, listen, we got a special fan in the crowd. I want to give him this belt, make some noise, yada, yada, yada. I think everybody's going to support, you know what I'm saying? But to do the whole, I'm going to give this belt to the loudest fan in the crowd. Let me hear you scream. Yeah, you got all these kids all around you. high up and low and middle section and all this stuff, screaming they freaking heads off because my son was screaming his damn head off where I had to go, all right, listen, boy. And then you do that multiple times for you to point at a kid that's ringside, front row, and say, oh, this little kid, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating. I don't want anybody to think that I'm hating. I'm not hating at
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
He ain't hating.
No, I'm not hating. Right?
Hey, hate could be riddled in truth.
This little kid,
little
was
girl,
small enough to where they could scream at the top of their lungs and you wouldn't even hear them. Okay, so clearly it was predetermined that you was already going to get this kid the belt. My only annoyance with it is why fleece all these kids in the stands and everybody like that for this damn signed belt when you know that you're going to give it. I would have respected a lot more by you just saying, we got a special kid here, make some noise, and then give the kid the belt.
Cool. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Why? I'll tell you why it happened. Because Cody ain't shit. Let's start the show.
I knew you was going to do it.
Cody ain't shit. Let's start the fucking show.
And it's crazy because, this is coming from a quote-unquote Cody fan. I'm a fan of Cody. So I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm sure, it was part of the routine or whatever it is. But I'm just saying, like, come on now. You can do better. You don't have to fleece the entire audience.
Nah, the shit that got me was when he said, I want to give it to the loudest fan. I'm sitting where I'm sitting. I was like, y'all know y'all not getting this belt. Even if he wanted to, he wouldn't be able to get it to y'all. So
that's what I told my son because we were leaving, and then my son wanted to stay, and I was going to look at him. I was going to tell him, like, look, boy, we up here. You ain't getting that belt. The only person that's getting that belt is somebody that's ringside. But I wasn't going to do it.
I don't know if you peeped this because where I was sitting, even when it was getting close to the dark match, security was still on it. They wasn't letting people move down. They won't letting them do nothing. So even if you wanted to take your son down there, you was gonna get stopped, and they weren't gonna let you get down there. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, Cody ain't shit. So that's what happens. He'll turn coming. But shit, let's get to the show, man. I titled this episode, Does NXT have better storylines than the main roster? There's a reason why I did that. But let's start off with, did y'all watch Vengeance Day?
I watched some matches.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Saturday. Thing. I think Jay was outside Saturday.
Jay's always outside.
He was outside yesterday.
He was outside yesterday. I was like,
listen, y'all not gonna be calling me out like this, all right?
I was like, what the fuck did we do that?
My partying days are on hold for a couple of days. I'm trying to recover right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you said a couple of days. What's today? Thursday? All right, so you'll be back Saturday.
Probably, yeah.
Or Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday day parties. All right, so these are the results. So we started off with Stephanie Vacker facing Fallon Henley for the North American Women's Championship. Stephanie won. Mm-hmm. Then we had the tag team match. I'm not doing this in order. We had the tag team match, Faxium versus Josh Briggs and Yushiki Inamura, and they retained their tag team championships. We had singles match. Ethan Page defeated Javon Evans. We had the strap match. Eddie Thorpe versus Trick, and Eddie Thorpe won. And then we had Obafemi versus A-Town Down Under. He defeated both of them, but it was funny. It was funny how he defeated them because Theory was about to win the NXT Championship, and Grayson Waller pulled him out the ring.
Pulled the ref.
No, he pulled. He did pull the ref. He pulled the ref. Pulled the ref out the ring. They get to arguing. Oba retains. And then our main event was the Fatal 4-Way: Julia versus Bailey versus Roxanne versus Cora, and Julia won. She pinned Roxanne. I believe that there's a specific reason why she pinned Roxanne. But yeah, that was NXT Vengeance Day.
And it's
Any
crazy
thoughts?
because Bailey was just at, she had to make a quick flight because she was just at the celebrity basketball game that Friday.
Yep.
Playing no defense.
Mm-mm.
None of them
No
played
defense. But yeah, what y'all think about the show overall?
It was all right.
Results?
I mean, the only
Anything surprising to you?
actually the best match to me was uh Javon Evans versus Ethan Page.
That match was dope.
That match kind of cooked. The fact that they kind of like made it to where Javon Evans literally got his jaw broke and was spitting out blood. I was like, because he got the mouthpiece knocked out. I was like, okay. I was like,
The
it was
way he got
pretty.
the mouthpiece knocked out was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But Javon Evans, man, he the future at NXT, man. He definitely got that potential. I feel like I said last podcast with Trick Williams, it's about that time. He lost to, Eddie Thorpe. He lost pretty much to a nobody in NXT. It's about that time to get called up. Not saying Eddie Thorpe is a nobody,
I'm
but
about to say I ain't saying he a nobody.
I ain't saying he a nobody, but I'm just like, when you lose to a person that everybody think that you should have beat, then yeah, I think you on your way up. So I feel like Trick Williams about to be on his way headed to the main one. I think they're gonna reinvent that Trick Williams versus Mellow Beef again because they like to redo shit that we seen in NXT and put it on the main roster show. So
I don't know if they're gonna reignite it just yet because
oh no,
Melo's still
that's going
Melo's
to
still trying to
be
figure. He's still trying to figure stuff out.
and exactly why he's trying to figure stuff out. The first person that he's gonna figure stuff out against when he get called up is Trick Williams.
Well, I think that if we won't see Trick until on the main roster until after WrestleMania. It'll probably be a WrestleMania day after arrival on Raw.
It'd probably be it. No, it would be SmackDown, right?
It will be SmackDown if he's going to do what you said and face Melo.
Yeah. It's gonna be the SmackDown after WrestleMania. We'll see Trick on SmackDown.
Okay. He's Truth said young OG cooked. Yeah, man, Javon, he the truth, bro.
Yeah.
And he making his rounds.
Listen,
What you got, Jay?
I know we want to talk about the wrestling, but damn the wrestling. Can we talk about people's pause game real quick?
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna be that guy.
Sound effect? Do I have a sound effect for this?
I'm gonna be that guy, okay? Because we got to talk about people's pause and capture game, okay? And then we also got to talk about why motherfuckers decide they want to come out wrestling with no draws on, okay?
That isn't part of Vengeance Day, but go ahead, I'll let you cook.
Listen, I get that it's not part of Vengeance Day, but still, it's still part of NXT. So all I'm gonna say,
we appreciate it though.
I ain't mad at it.
All I'm gonna say,
you had to watch. Those are the still shots, but if you watch the actual video, you got to actually pay attention, and then you can see
worse when you watch the actual video. Like when you watch it, besides the still shot, when you watch the actual like clip of it,
yeah. And the person, I see a whole bunch of comments. It was like, "Yo, bro, what person literally?" Because when I watched that match, right? I watched that match on Tuesday.
Yeah, I watched it too, and I definitely didn't see that, but I wasn't looking for it.
I didn't see. I wasn't exactly. So what perverted ass motherfucker was looking for that shit?
And you wouldn't see it unless you were looking for it.
Unless you was like, "Oh."
But why leave yourself open for that? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
NXT freaky as hell.
Listen, I'm sure after all this shit hit Twitter.
No, NXT is freaky as hell. Have you seen the chicks up there?
Yeah. I'm sure after all this shit hit Twitter, I'm sure they probably pulled her to the side and she got a phone call. Was like, listen, don't do that shit ever again, okay?
Yeah, or at least if you're gonna do it, don't have it where you gotta have long legs and the other are short. If you're gonna do that, then you gotta wear long pants on both legs.
Listen, Truth, that's not no malfunction, okay? We can blame some things. We can blame some things to a malfunction, okay?
Nah.
Like Jacqueline, when old girl tried to pull Jacqueline off of what's his name's arms and she accidentally ripped her shirt. That's a wardrobe malfunction. You know what I'm
Jada
saying?
fell the wrong. She fell the wrong way, man.
When Sasha was fighting somebody and they did a roll up pin and pulled her pants and her junks came down. You know, she had the sheer color tights under it, like the spandex, whatever. But it looked body color. You get what I'm saying? So it was like
Even Lyra at the
that's sad.
Royal Rumble. Lyra at the Royal Rumble. Her whole top almost came off.
Exactly.
She had
there are situations that yes, you can blame it on a wardrobe malfunction. This is not one of those situations. Okay. So all I'm gonna say, do better.
Hey,
I was wondering which one of y'all was going to be the first to bring that up.
That's all I gotta say. We're here for you, Miss Parker.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Getting back to the show.
That is the show.
Definitely the show.
Right.
That was a show.
Yeah.
I have a theory on why Roxanne took the pin. Do either one of y'all have one?
Yeah, because she's main roster. She's in an elimination chamber. That's kind of like her exit plan to me.
So is Bayley.
Bayley to me was a filler. Bayley
definitely.
I don't see Bayley taking a pin showed no relevance. I mean, to me, with Roxanne still bordering that NXT main roster line, her taking a pin just shows that she's not about to be competing for this championship no more. Like, they could have easily had Bayley do it since she wasn't an NXT person, but I think it hits more home for Roxanne.
Like this is the nail in her NXT coffin.
Yeah. Or should I say Roseanne, like Jillian Garcia fucked up on Monday and called her Roseanne. Yeah, and motherfuckers want to say that they're happy that Jillian's back doing intros and stuff like that. Okay.
You mean Lillian?
Yeah, Lillian. Oh, see, she got me messing up.
Listen, here's the thing I'm gonna say, and I'm dead ass. Why are they having main roster people come down to NXT for a match? If there's one thing that we're talking about here, NXT is stacked when it comes down to the women's division.
It is.
What is the point?
That I honestly feel like that they feel like a main roster person can pace it better.
No, I feel like they do it for the hype.
Yeah, that too.
That's it. That's all they do.
And to bring more and to build up the title too.
Yeah, they do it for the
hype, pace, viewership, build up, like you said, get more ratings and everything. And I get why you put that title, Trey. And I think it's in the midst of this, but it's within the NXT realm. Is that NXT for the past 2 weeks has led viewership out viewing both Raw and SmackDown, Raw, Netflix, and SmackDown. They've reached a viewership low for the past 2 weeks, and NXT has been like climbing the charts. So sometimes I feel like that they still in their mind are competing with AEW or what have, but I feel like just like you, Jay, they shouldn't be bringing nobody from the main roster up. Whether they're like they have everybody now in the main roster pretty much has historical background in NXT, right?
Yeah,
is I don't think it's too many people that don't have some kind of back history or backstory in NXT, like except for like AJ Styles and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really no reason to even like bring them people.
Like why is A-Town Down Under fighting Oba for the title?
Well, one, they ain't had nothing to do with A-Town Down Under.
They had a main event match before Raw against Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why they even had. I don't even get why they had them competing. Like, but the men side of NXT, to me, It's just that it's too many tag teams and it's not being utilized the right
Yes.
way. They're
Yeah.
heavily powered with teams. They're not heavily powered with individuals. But then it also makes sense with that TNA alliance. You know what I'm saying? That they can have those interjections with TNA superstars and main superstars, but they need to kind of like
All
I
right.
don't
Well,
know.
let's talk about it then. So how y'all feel about Ricky Saints? He is no longer Ricky Starks. He is now
What
known as Ricky Saints.
well they played that one to the T because there were already rumors coming out that AEW was gonna sue if he used Starks.
Which is hilarious because everyone else from AEW has used their name. Jade kept her name. Sean Spears
Yep.
kept his name. Who else?
Well,
Um,
that believe it or not, that's a name that
who
they
else?
created before they came to AEW. So they patented those names
Well,
before.
he had Ricky Starks when he was in NWA.
But they did a patent on him when he took his leave after he got hurt and he decided not to come back. They went ahead and trademarked his name. That that's also why he made dropped them bombs like he was doing in his promo, saying that like executives and productions was in his business that shouldn't have been in his business. Motherfuckers was
Okay.
doing that to be petty, so they did do a trademark on his name
I
when he
feel
The
was
like
only
they
other
did
person
that
that changed
because
the only other person that changed his name was Lexus King because he's not going by Brian Pillman Jr. anymore.
right.
I feel like for Ricky Starks, the main reason is I really felt like AEW thought that they were going to re-sign him, and then he didn't re-sign. You could tell that's some shit where their butt hurt,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
they went after it.
And
That's
I don't even, and he's not legitimately like saying Tony Khan, Tony Khan, Tony Khan. I feel like it's more so towards the EVPs.
mm-hmm.
There's other people back there too. There's Dean Malenko back there. It's who else is back there? Brian Danielson is back there.
Yeah, but
Jericho.
during that
Um,
realm, during that whole process, what was going on, it was definitely the EVPs that he was having issues with.
okay. I mean, if you say so, I don't know.
And
But
Tony Khan, I remember he literally said Tony Khan wasn't being a voice of reasoning. He was just letting shit happen.
that's what everybody that says leaves AEW seems to be saying.
Hmm.
They say they like him as a person, but as far as running the business, he be letting shit. He just be letting shit go.
Yeah.
Welcome to WCW.
Only difference is they got the bread to where they won't go out of business. They'll just keep bouncing from streaming service to streaming service.
Pretty
Chris
much,
Jericho
yeah.
even came out. Chris Jericho came out and said Tony Khan about to get a deal for to finally put ROH on TV.
Mm.
Mm. Oh, speaking of ROH, I want to give a quick shout out. Look if you look at my background, I have it's all black wrestlers. I want to show some love. This is Black History Month. And with it being Black History Month, I want to give a quick shout out to Athena, who has now surpassed 800 days as ROH Women's Champion.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So shout out to Athena, the
Listen,
former
don't get me
Ember
wrong.
Moon.
I'm not going to take it away from her, but at the same time, who's really there to challenge her and to take the title away from her?
You have to watch. You have to watch ROH to see
How do you know I haven't watched ROH?
because you're asking. You haven't. Who's somebody she faced?
Listen, I didn't say all of that. All I'm just saying is that who do you see to have the title? Like, you know how you can say, okay, I can definitely see this person taking the title and running Ring of Honor. I'm basically saying is that I don't see nobody taking that title and running Ring of Honor with the women's championship like Athena.
And when I said you have to watch ROH, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking in general.
No, you was talking to me. You was talking to me.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
part of general. You're part of general, but it wasn't specific to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
All right.
I'm not going to touch that.
Uh, the Hardy Boys will be returning back to NXT. I told y'all the Hardy Boys were gonna they're back on WWE TV, kind of, because they are going to be on NXT. I forgot what tag team they're challenging, but it's not Faxium yet. But what are y'all thoughts on the Hardys returning to WWE television as the TNA champions?
Hey, the I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, at this point, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Triple H's response to it and his post about it was funny because when he said that they've reached the mountaintop in this company and then also kind of like fell off the mountaintop, that part had me laughing. I was like,
but this would make them technically, you could say, the greatest tag team ever if they win the NXT title. They would have had it everywhere.
They don't need the NXT tag team championships to make them the greatest tag. They're already there. That's it.
Well, they said they wanted JJ. I mean, JD. Damn, Jay. What's your name? I know too many niggas with the name Jay.
We're not starting off with this now. Come on.
No, we ain't starting off. We 31 minutes in.
Listen. All I'm saying is that I get what they're trying to do with them.
You're a dream crusher. That's what you are.
I'm not a dream crusher. I'm not a dream crusher. It's just one of those things where we've constantly said it, and I'm sorry, the Hardy Boys are no exception to it. It comes a time where it's time to finally hang it up. You mean to tell me that the NXT championships is never mind. You know what?
They gotta take it off their bucket list.
Go ahead.
Come on, man. We all getting older. You got things you want to check off your bucket list?
Go ahead.
JD, you got any thoughts? Any other thoughts?
Nope. Mm-mm.
All of us. Listen. I'm sorry. I can't get on. Listen.
Yeah, I know. I know.
This is starting to turn into a freaking Goldberg situation, or it's starting to turn into who was it? Who else was it that couldn't?
They still work better than Goldberg, though.
Okay, I give you that one. I give you that one. All right. As long as it doesn't turn into a Ric Flair situation, I'm good. Okay.
Ric Flair is such an extreme. You know what they would have to do to become Ric Flair?
They're close. They're close.
Goldberg is close to Flair. The Hardys, Adam Copeland, they all in the same area. They can still go. Christian, they can't go like they used to, but they can still go when need be.
Hold on. Did you just say you tired of old niggas jumping off shit? Referencing Adam Copeland?
I am.
That's another one. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this, okay? Did anybody see the clip? This is definitely the Ric Flair situation right here. Everybody see the clip with Scotty 2 Hotty?
Yeah.
See, you bringing up too cool.
Listen, I'm just saying. All right. He's definitely on that Ric Flair situation right now, okay? Because that motherfucker was in the ring and he looked like he wanted to do the worm, but his back wasn't gonna let him get down there and then get back up.
He should have done it like Maxine, do it backwards.
So
look, this is my thing. I don't like them jumping off of stuff, but at the same time, Jeff can actually still legitimately do it and it looks decent. I don't want Matt doing. I don't want Matt. I said it looks decent. Doesn't look great. Matt looks like he needs to be in a wheelchair sometimes.
Listen, Jeff can't do poetry in motion no more. He can't jump off his brother back. The last couple times they did that, either Matt backdrop or Jeff foot slipped. And so they can't do half the moves that they are used to doing. They are no longer. That's why they don't call themselves Team Extreme no more. They're Team Hardy because extreme shit is done.
I'm not trying to be mean, but
and also because it's trademarked by WWE. But
his Swanton bomb looks like whenever you're at the bowling lane and you accidentally throw the bowling ball up in the air and then it's crashing down on the lane. That's what I get from his Swanton bomb. Like
viewership wise, I understand it. I understand
the reason. That's it.
The reason why I said the jumping thing is because Copeland literally did a straight legged drop from the damn cage and broke his foot. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But okay, so we talked about it earlier. So Calvin was doing the video of me searching for Ray and Jay on Raw, and he has a big issue with what transpired on Tuesday when your boy Moose came out to challenge Obafemi to a match, champion versus champion. I don't
Hmm.
have a problem with this. I like Moose,
What
but
was what was his issue? Because Moose is not the main champion.
no, he said, Moose said to him, Oba, this has to happen,
Hmm.
because we both are in our bubbles or whatever. And then Oba said to him, "You in that title, you the king of your bubble, but over here, I am inevitable. But
Hmm.
this will happen. But this will happen."
Hmm. Hmm.
Is this
Yeah,
match title
Moose,
for title, or is it just for
I
bragging
well,
rights?
they
it's
don't know
nothing
yet.
right now because it's nothing right now. It's not even official because Moose is going to show up on Tuesday, but he's fighting somebody else
No, Obafemi is showing up on TNA.
Thursday.
Supposed to be
Probably
tonight.
tonight. I'm about to say
Yeah,
probably tonight.
yeah. I mean, Obafemi is supposed to be this Mbaku warlord from the Marvel cinema because when you start sending like using punchlines inevitable sounding like what's his
Thanos.
name? Thanos. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need him to lay off the Marvel.
Been watching too much Marvel.
Yeah, he definitely is caught up in Black Panther and stuff like that. But I mean, I feel like that they could put on a good match. I heard a lot of people saying Moose is the X division. It would have been better if he was the main champion. Um,
If it was him versus Joe Hendry.
yeah, something like no, just if not the person, just the title. Like if Moose
Okay.
was the TNA champion instead of the X division champion. Um, But like I said, the views, everybody know who Moose is. It's been a long time. They've been waiting for Moose to be over in the WWE realm for a while. So I just saw something about TKO just purchased something.
Oh, they just
Lucha
purchased
Underground.
Lucha
Lucha
Underground.
Underground.
Oh my goodness, they
Yeah,
you just don't understand. You just don't understand. And see, that just goes to show Ricochet coming back.
of
He's
course,
coming back. He's
of course.
coming back. But he's gonna come back as Prince Puma.
So I
We're
mean,
gonna talk about we can talk about Ricochet later. I got some AEW stuff I want to get into, but we'll talk about it
I'm
later.
gonna just touch on the match real quick, and the only thing I'm gonna just say about it is I think that they're kind of listening to the fans a little bit,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like this is a match that the fans have kind of been calling for a lot.
Mhm.
Within the last couple of months. So
You talk about Moose and
yeah,
Oba?
yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
that's my Zando. I assume you're talking about Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, he's
Look,
definitely talking about.
something that you and JD can agree on. See, I love the community coming together.
You got to understand that Lucha Underground for me was the first time that I have ever seen a female fight a male wrestler back, right?
Oh, you talking
So
about with Chelsea Green?
yeah,
Against Penta.
like yeah,
EO
Chelsea
was
Green
get
against Penta.
EO used to get it
EO,
popping too.
um,
Jay.
it was
EO used to
it
get
was
it
a
popping
lot of
too.
EO
Nah,
was definitely EO was definitely better in Lucha Underground than she was there. But you got to
my
think like most of Lucha Underground's matches were like unsanctioned, really.
so
Like
so
their whole format.
my only thing with the purchase is that if they're going to continue Lucha Underground and they're going to kind of bring it more mainstream onto network TV or whatever their plan is with it, they got to keep it gritty and grimy like it is.
I don't think that they're gonna purchase it. I think they want to get their catalog. I think that's what the purchase is for, right? I don't think that they're gonna make a comeback with it. I would be all for a comeback for it, but just the way that wrestling is now, like Lucha Underground was heavy in the ruthless aggression era, right? So they were kind of like on a urge of competing. I feel like now that it would be too much, not for
Nah,
us, not for us, but for the other viewers to get into that.
you got to
Like,
think about it though. Lucha Underground, what only died out what not that long ago. It hasn't
yeah,
been too. I
it
mean, they
is. Been
huh?
almost. It's been about. It's close. It's closer to 10 years than it is 5.
No, I thought it was more like 5.
Nah. I'm about to look it up, but I don't think I think they just really want their catalog. With having Penta like in WWE, I think that was just a smart way. AEW should have did that.
Penta, Ray.
Yeah,
Nah, man, you got to think about it this way. I think that they have more planned for Lucha Underground than just their catalog. You don't have to bring Lucha Underground to USA, TNT, or whatever it is,
no,
right?
you would keep that on the stream.
There you go.
Netflix.
You can
Yeah,
keep that on the stream.
because it's on Prime.
You can
So you can
make
watch
it.
them.
You can make it a little 2-hour show or whatever it is. Keep it low budget like it is,
Oh,
and
it's on Prime?
let some of
Yeah,
these people get they shine. Like, I mean, think about all the people that have come through Lucha Underground and that
right.
are wrestling right now and that are quote unquote
Jay.
heavy hitters. You know what I'm
Oh, does
saying?
that mean we get Alberto El Patron back?
No,
No.
never.
So Jay, they only believe it or not, they only went. They weren't even on for a year. So
Yeah.
they debuted October 29th, 2014 through August 5th, 2015. So it's coming up on 10 years. They did 4 seasons within a year span.
That can't be right.
I'm okay. That was season 1. Never mind.
Okay.
My bad. I'm reading too fast. Okay, 2018.
Okay.
2018. So yeah, they did 4 seasons. So 2018 was their last. The last show was August 15th, 2018.
So I was close. I said 5 years. It's more like 7 years.
Yeah.
So I was close.
Well, he
Because
said closer to 10 than 5.
I still remember some of these later, Lucha Underground matches that were like
With
insane.
Johnny Mundo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
John Morrison and all them people
Yep.
when they were up in there.
Matt Striker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So moving on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I have any subscriber questions that fall into this topic. I don't believe. Oh, okay. Well, here's one. This is from Tion. Question is for the women. Who do y'all think has the better looking belts, NXT or WWE?
NXT.
Yeah.
Hands
I
down.
fuss with them. I fuss with WWE's
Main
mid
titles?
card. Mid
Oh,
card.
mid card.
Yeah, but NXT still has better titles, better
Yeah.
looking titles to me. I feel like that their titles are made for their show.
Yep.
WWE's titles is made for the brand in general.
Yep.
So
They're
if
just
they
all a copy of each other. That's all it
right,
is.
yep.
They
So
made all the women's titles white
mhm,
to signify that it's a women's championship, but the
mhm.
overall design is exactly the same
Well,
as every other belt.
since you're talking about that, everybody's calling Triple H a major troll for debuting WWE ID titles for the men and women. And it was like, damn, we getting another set of championships. Like, why does every show have to have a champion?
Well, every
Because
show
they're
needs to
not
have a
because
champion.
yeah, every show does need to have one because those aren't shows that you could just cut on. You got to search for them.
Yeah.
I still ain't. I'm on X every day. I still ain't seen a speed match.
Hey, I've seen it one time, and I think it was Ricochet versus
Andrade.
Dragon Lee.
Oh,
Yeah.
My thing is, what damn show do they film Speed on? It must be SmackDown.
I think it is on SmackDown.
yeah,
I
because they
have
film main event is filmed on Raw.
it's on Raw.
Yeah, so Speed is on SmackDown. It's like the dark match for them, or the pre. What would you call the sunrise match? I don't know what you call the
Say
match
it's
before the
pre-match.
show start. The pre match, and they just posted on Wednesdays. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's like a week. They film it a week in advance. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So sticking with the women topic, let's get into some main roster stuff, and then I have a question about the overall women's division after. But we touched on it at the beginning of the show. Liv getting jumped by Naomi and Bianca because on Friday Nick Aldis showed them cell phone footage of Liv and Raquel walking into the building, or not walking into, but I don't want to give it away. Uh, Being in the vicinity of Jade being placed into the ambulance.
They
So
trolling.
what do
They
y'all think
trolling.
about them framing? I think they're framing Liv and Raquel. What do y'all think?
I think that is just a big
So,
troll.
swerve right,
Yeah.
swerve left, swerve right, swerve left. It's a
The,
swerve.
here's the thing. Here's the only thing I think about this, right? I think that they're doing too much with Jade continuously commenting on X
Hmm.
after every show or after every segment with Bianca and Naomi.
Yeah,
I
what she say
think
last time? She was like, "You sure?"
yeah, it was first. It was you sure, and then she said something about how she was just at home recovering with CTE or something like that. Like,
Man,
I
please,
think
Jay,
that
you was on the beach on IG.
Yeah, it was something about like because they was cheering and laughing and stuff like
yes,
that, and she said, "I'm at home, mind you, I'm at home recovering from CTE," and I'm like,
Now
I think
somebody in the comments said Jade is at home with CTE, and y'all over
"Yeah,
here doing a dance routine.
that's what it was."
Jade ain't say she
I
had
just
CTE.
just think that they need to push. They need to fall back a little bit on her continuously commenting. I think it's kind of watering down the segment a little bit, right? I like the one where she was like, "You sure?"
When
As in
Naomi
like,
said, "Yeah,
okay, I'm watching, right? But just leave it at that.
yeah, you
Leave it
sure you
at
don't know
that.
nothing?" Yeah,
But if you're
I
gonna
don't
have
think it's
her,
necessarily watering it down, but go ahead.
I'm all I'm saying is that if you're gonna have them like start to push this segment a little bit more now, and they're starting to, we went months with nothing, and now all of a sudden we got this video with Liv and them and all of these more details. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something tomorrow about it too on SmackDown.
yeah.
So
You got to
let
think,
let that part play out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you got to think.
Liv
It's
and
been
Raquel probably
three
gonna show
months.
back. Liv and Raquel probably gonna show up on SmackDown to get some get back for Liv getting jumped, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, but it's been three
Um,
months since this happened, since right before Survivor Series.
Yep.
yep.
Um, you got to think like this is a long stretch. Obviously, they really don't want to make it seem like she was actually hurt and written off, which we know that's the case.
I
Something
mean,
happened.
shit.
She was hurt,
They killed that dream for us immediately because they came out like a week later and said that she ain't hurt for real.
right? But yeah, y'all saying that I don't believe it because this is a long ass storyline for someone who just got thrown into a car. Like the Shawn Michaels and Triple H one went faster than this.
Yeah.
Yep, truth. We about to get to that. I was about to ask that question right now. So, um, based off of everything, because I think that because we're making our elimination chamber predictions next week on the next show. I believe that the winner of the elimination chamber for the women is going to be based off of this match on Monday on whether the titles get retained or if they lose them to Liv and Raquel.
They're not losing them to Liv and Raquel. Bianca and Naomi are going into WrestleMania with the women's tag team championships.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily think they're coming out of WrestleMania with the women's tag team championships, but they're definitely going into WrestleMania. I feel like this storyline, whatever they're doing, is going to come full circle at WrestleMania. And if it's discovered that either Naomi or Bianca attack Jade, then whatever's going on with Jade, whether she's really hurt or not, I think they're just resting her and just waiting for her return at WrestleMania to when she interferes in the match and either helps them retain the championships or lose the championships, depending on how this storyline goes. Most likely, she's coming back to screw Naomi and Bianca out of the tag team titles.
Hmm.
I think you a little early on her coming back to have them lose the titles, honestly. Because I believe that if Bianca is the one that pulled the trigger on Jade getting hurt, then the Mania match is her versus Jade, not them defending the tag titles at Mania, in my opinion.
I thought about that, but I keep seeing. I don't know how this is going because I keep seeing promos for WrestleMania, and I keep seeing the different match cards. And don't get me wrong, I know these people are people who just make these match cards and they
I
want
don't
it to
even look at
happen.
them.
But I keep seeing the match card with Bianca versus Rhea, and I don't think that's happening.
That's
Like
not happening.
I don't see that happening right now at WrestleMania, especially with her and Naomi still holding the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that Bianca and Naomi are going to go into WrestleMania with the tag titles. I just don't see this storyline ending at Elimination Chamber for her versus Jade at WrestleMania. That's kind of I think it's too much of a rush.
A rush, we ain't getting them for 3 months.
But
Yeah, so we don't get done for 3 months, and then all of a sudden we get the whole storyline progressed in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't see
That's
that.
that's the WWE. That's the WWE way.
Damn sure is.
it is. But
Damn sure is.
there something has to happen at Elimination Chamber to give us some kind of premonition that it's one or the other. Because them both being in Elimination Chamber is gonna give us an idea of who really is the possible candidate of making this happen. Okay, Liv is the mastermind behind her and Raquel. So you got Liv in there. Raquel's not in there, but you got Bianca and Naomi. Bianca and Naomi are gonna clash. I've already stated my truth about Naomi, how she's always been for the gold since she's came back to WWE. Now, the only thing that I see with Bianca is that she's starting to get a little bent out of shape anytime Naomi shows any kind of friendships with other people, but she really wasn't. To me, she really wasn't showing that type of friendship to Jade. She was showing friendship more towards Bianca. So, and Bianca's acting more. To me, she's acting a lot more underhandedly heelish. You know, she rocking the grill like a husband. She got a little thugness about her. I'm still kind of pushing more towards Bianca being the person who did it. And it goes all the way back to when it first happened. This happened during a one-on-one match for Bianca to see who was going to be
The advantage.
um, the advantage for Survivor Series, right?
Yep.
For War Games. And it goes back to her her entrance. She was mouthing the lyrics to her song, and part of the song was like that she did it by herself. She ain't need nobody.
I
And
never
then
needed you at all.
yeah, never need. There we go. Never needed you at all. And then during the match, you see they show a clip of Jade hurt. All you got to go back. All of that kind of aligns. Like Naomi was back there to check on Jade, but you had a match. But there's a big gap from the point that you had a match to her getting hurt in your entrance that shows that you could have pushed her ass, and
I
then you
get
could have
what you
came out
said.
to the ring.
I get what you're saying. To me, it just doesn't make sense. And the only reason why I say it doesn't make sense is because, okay, let's go with the theory that Bianca took out Jade. Why would Bianca want to go into Survivor Series without a partner? Right? Now,
Because they
granted,
replaced her with Naomi.
no, hold on. I know
No,
that.
they
But,
replaced her with Bailey.
yeah.
Oh, Bailey.
But what I'm
Bailey.
saying is that, yeah, at the end of the day, we all knew that they were going to come up with a replacement or anything like that. But just as a progressive storyline, it doesn't make sense. Now, we've already said that Naomi has been title hungry since she's come back, right? That's all she's talked about. All she wanted to do. I wanted to come back. I want to be a champion again. You know, we've gotten the promos and the interviews and all that stuff, right? To me, the storyline makes a lot more sense at Naomi being the
It
one
does.
to take out Jade, just because Naomi and Bailey as a tag team didn't work out. And then here you go with Bianca and Jade winning tag team titles. And then, you know, Naomi wasn't really rocking with Jade, and Jade wasn't really feeling Naomi straight off the jump, too. Well, you know, what's the best way for Naomi to just slide in there and become tag team champion, taking out Jade, and then knowing that Bianca's going to need a partner? Hey, let me step up. I'm not going to touch the belt until I earn it. So let me just help you win this match, and then bam, I earn it, and now I'm tag team champion.
Well, I could go back to where when they lost it, who took the pin? When they first lost their belts, who took the pin? Bianca.
Bianca,
When they won it, who won it for them?
Jade.
Why she all like when Bianca lost, Jade was nowhere to be found, right? So I feel like, but then she was always ready to boss up to Bianca. Like when they were at, what was that? The Royal Rumble the year prior or something like that. When they were
Hmm.
meeting face to face and stuff like that.
Her debut.
Her debut, yeah. But we never got to see it. But it was always like she knew that she was probably the best competitor to Bianca besides Rhea Ripley. Like I feel like that they were gonna play on this like me and Trey talked about it a long time ago where Bianca had to carry her, basically. Carry her in L's, carry her in dubs. It does make sense storyline wise for Naomi. I mean, I guess we just gonna have to see. And I feel like Elimination Chamber is gonna tell us more towards this story.
I definitely agree with that. I think that
Yeah.
To me,
Elimination Chamber.
it's too obvious for it to be Naomi to me, honestly. Um,
And
Truth,
maybe
you
they want
said
to
my
keep it like that.
Would you say that's the WWE way?
Truth, you said my biggest thing is why take out your partner while you're still tag champs. Because Bianca never wanted to be tag champs, bro.
Nah. She
She
really
never really
didn't.
wanted to be. She never wanted to be tag champs. That's
Nah.
number one. But also, I've been seeing this theory on X. This would be hilarious if it did happen, and I would get hyped. But did y'all notice how uh it was a segment on Raw? I don't know if you saw it, Jay. It was quick, but it was Dom talking to Adam Pierce going ham. It was a quick shot, like you didn't see it, but he was in the background talking to Adam Pierce. Some may think it's because of what happened with him and AJ and Braun, but then other people, okay, Xandal trolling, um, but other people are saying that what if Dom actually gets the footage and during the tag team championship match lets it play on the damn Titantron, and Naomi sees it and realizes that Bianca is the one that did it. That would actually be something that would be like an Attitude Era type of move, where you get
Or vice
somebody to
versa.
show or whatever. Naomi attacked Jay, whatever.
Hmm.
But because we know it's not Liv and Raquel because they always brag when they do something.
Yeah,
But
it is.
so I can see that, and then at Elimination Chamber, that's when you get the return of Jade, and whoever is the one that attacked her ends up getting eliminated after either Jade interferes or just her presence distracts them and they get eliminated. I can see any of that happening.
I mean, there's so many different routes that they can go with this storyline, so it's hard to predict it. I still go with Naomi though. I told you I don't think that I just don't think that it would make sense for Jade to attack her own tag team partner.
I
That
think it'll be more impactful if it was Bianca though.
it would be because everybody's been wanting a Bianca heel turn for a while.
What Triple H say? You're damn right it was me.
Hey, and Bianca is a Triple H girl, so
Hmm. Now let's talk about the next because that match is for the Rhea's title, the women's championship. But now let's talk about Charlotte finally made her decision and she picked Tiffy.
bro,
We all knew this was going to happen, but what y'all got?
I'm gonna just get straight to the point so we can keep moving forward because we a little bit behind. That segment took all the smoke off the potential. I'm gonna just say it. That promo took. You talking about pouring ice cold water on a fire? Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, that was probably the weakest. I'm going to. I'm choosing you type ish. While she's still laying in the ground, like, okay, you're just praying. It was like Charlotte was preying on her prey. Like she was a carnivore preying on her prey. I wasn't for it. I would have been more if Tiffany would have won and not got like manhandled at the end, right? I don't know. It's just
Honestly, from the way that Charlotte decided to make her choice, I think Tiffany's gonna beat her at WrestleMania.
ooh, ooh. I hope she don't get buried, man. Like,
Nah, I don't think so, bro.
yeah,
Listen. Don't get okay. Here's the thing about Charlotte. Okay, we all know it. We're all tired of it. Charlotte leaves, comes back, wins the championship, rocks with the belt for a while, gets beat, leaves, comes back, gets the championship match,
yeah,
rocks with the belt for a while, loses it, leaves, and then all of a sudden comes back again now, WrestleMania. I mean, this has been Charlotte for like the last, 4 or 5 years now. This is what we've consistently got with Charlotte. I don't think that she's winning at WrestleMania. I think that this is the best way to push Tiffany over, right? And make Tiffany that top person in the women's division, especially for SmackDown, by Charlotte putting her over. And the way that Charlotte decided to make her decision on SmackDown, I don't know, man. I something deep down in my bones is telling me that Tiffy's going to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because this is almost like Charlotte taking the easy way out.
Yeah.
But then she gets shocked and gets beat by Tiffy.
So, Zanley, you said it never had heat in Charlotte. For God's sakes, when does she ever bring heat? The fact that you made that comment shows that she brings heat. Number one, and number two, he says Xander always says that she doesn't put nobody over. Well, if Tiffany beats her, that is her putting Tiffany over. So, like I said, I rocks with Charlotte. So I think that I'm not going to give my. It's way too early to give my WrestleMania prediction, but I could definitely see what you're talking about as far as Tiffany beating her. I think it may be because I think that WWE, they have sent out trolling stories before, so they were like, yeah, she's in line for a big title push when she comes back. She got the Royal Rumble, so she's halfway there. But I don't
She
necessarily
got the title
mean
push.
that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to win the title just
Exactly.
because she won the Rumble.
This is the title push. We all knew that Charlotte was coming back at Royal Rumble, and we all knew that if Becky wasn't going to be in the Royal Rumble, that Charlotte was going to win the Royal Rumble. I said it was going to either come down to Charlotte or Becky, depending on if Becky came back or not. We didn't get the Becky return. We got the Charlotte return, so of course Charlotte was going to win the Royal Rumble. But just because she's getting this title push this time doesn't mean that she's going to win it. I don't know, man. I think all the eggs right now are in the Tiffy basket right now with WWE on the SmackDown side, and I think that they're going to keep pushing Tiffy. And I think that
honestly, if they want her to be the face, like really truly turn her face, this is the perfect person to really turn her into a face champion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Xandel, she put Rhea over. That's why Rhea is as big as she is. It wasn't 10 years ago. All right. So I do have this about the women's division because, like you said, we running behind. So this is from Cultaholic Wrestling. There is reportedly growing frustration in WWE women's division over their booking. This is the main roster, not NXT. I quote, I have spoken with plenty of women in WWE who are frustrated about the booking of the women. I know there have been some mania pitches that have been rejected because people are like, token tag matches aren't something that they want to do. That goes to Jay's point about Bianca and Naomi. They want things put on more of an even plane in the women's division. So the women don't even want tag matches in Mania.
Well, the women's tag team division is horrible anyway, so it doesn't even matter. That's the whole reason why they put the belts on Jade and Bianca to start with, because the tag team division is ass.
They already tried that. They tried that once already with Bayley and Sasha when they were the main champion of both brands and the tag champions.
Exactly.
During the Thunderdome era.
And then you saw what happened when they took the tag team titles off of Bianca and Jade, and they gave it to
Isla and Alba.
Yeah,
shit was awful.
Yeah,
so they had to.
Well, it was literally just them trying to fight their way to get the titles back. That's all it was.
But this is the thing too, is that nobody wants to do tag championships, tag teams for a championship at WrestleMania, especially when you got mid-card championships that's not even getting fucking utilized right.
I was just about to say that.
You brought them here because this is what we all wanted. So you just gave it to us because this is what the fans wanted? No, we wanted to see. We wanted them so they could be defended with all these women wrestlers that you got. But you're having the same people fight for the same champions once again. This is the problem when you have brand splits, is because when you have certain champions, you only can have certain people, and then it becomes so overly repetitive. How many times is Mi Chen gonna fight for the U.S. title? How many times is Dakota Kai gonna fight for the Intercontinental title? I haven't seen what's the name from Alpha Academy fight for it yet. I haven't seen
Well, that's because Lyra
uh
hasn't had a title defense yet. She hasn't even had a title defense yet. They put
that's a
her
big
on main.
problem.
They put her on main event fighting Alba Fire before
That
Raw.
yeah, that's a big problem.
But
That's a
now she has
big
a number one
problem.
contender because she has Dakota now. They're actually going to fight
Right. But
in an
then
actual title match.
this is a championship that needs to be defended every week. The U.S. Women's Championship is a championship that maybe okay. I'm not gonna say every week, maybe every 2 weeks. You should be having a number one contender fighting for that championship.
Listen,
Mid
this is
cards are supposed to be the fighting
Or
championship.
or at least have a legit feud. I don't know necessarily think they should be having open challenges for it, but they should at least
I
have
don't.
legitimate
I'm.
feuds.
this the problem I have. Okay, we have a men's world championship, a women's world champion. We have a men's mid card champion, a women's mid card champion. We have a men's tag team champion. We have a women's tag team champion. Now, even though they float between Raw and SmackDown, we still have a women's tag team champion, right? Why are we not just alternating these segments every other Monday, right? Every other Monday, we could focus on the men's championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, and then maybe the women's mid card title, right? And then the
Mhm.
next Monday Night Raw, we could focus on the women's World Heavyweight Championship and then the men's mid card title, right? And then
Mhm.
every once in a while, we could throw in the women's tag team championship in between there. It's not that hard. The
It
problem is
really
that
isn't.
their booking is fucking awful, and
Yeah.
they just can't get out of their way. Like, they bring this women's mid card title to do absolutely nothing with it. Like you pointed out, the women's Intercontinental Championship hasn't even been defended, and her match was on fucking main event.
Yeah.
It's dumb as hell. Instead, what they rather do is they rather spend all their time on Monday Night Raw and on SmackDown doing freaking interviews and promos.
Mhm.
That's all they rather do. They want to waste all the time that they have on their show on interviews and promos
Yep.
when they
Instead,
could be using
instead
that
you
time to
got
set up. And
yeah.
then on top of that, don't even get me started with Saturday Night Main Event,
Mhm.
because you have the perfect platform for these mid card champions to actually get some matches in and create some feuds, and you waste that shit on fucking Jay Uso and Gunther when we know that they're not going to change the title on no Saturday Night Main Event. It's their booking is fucking awful. It's
Yeah.
always been
And,
that way. So there's
and
nothing new about it.
instead of having Chelsea Green defend her U.S. title, you have her fighting for a spot in the elimination chamber that you know she's not gonna beat. She's not gonna get in. It does. It's logical. Like when you're looking at the TV and you see, or you're there and you see this match going on, it's like there's no way. There's just no way.
So
Why
just
why
just to,
why even troll the people like that?
just to comment on what Zando's saying is, I'm not saying defend every 2 weeks. What I'm saying is that every 2 weeks, if you're alternating it, you can build up these storylines with each title. We don't need every Monday night a segment between, like, just like last Monday. Honestly, that segment between Gunther and Jay Uso was fucking pointless. That's all I'm gonna
Then
say. It was
so
pointless.
Well,
promoter
that's how
Zando.
he ended up picking
Oh
him, so it
no,
wasn't pointless.
It was
promoter
pointless.
promoter promoter Zando. You can't defend every 2 weeks. Why can't you? When they did an open challenge, that shit was defended every single fucking week. And you had a new person out every week. Then when you start getting more people, now that sets up a number one contender match, which then goes into the next week. I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with it.
I mean, you make a good point, but I'm saying they don't even have to, though. They can
They
use that
don't,
time to
but I'm
build
just saying
in. The
with
problem
with
with WWE right now is they continuously build long-term storylines. You don't
yeah,
need a long-term storyline for every fucking challenger and every fucking champion. You
no,
don't
you
need it.
don't.
But
No.
yet they constantly build long-term storylines. And
Yeah.
that's their problem right now. Because
Hmm.
now, excuse me, now we get SmackDown and Monday Night Raw consumed with promo after promo after promo, interview after interview after interview to keep these long-term storylines going.
And then you get promos where you get somebody like Braun Breaker that's backstage that's like, find me somebody to fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you start getting him just going AWOL and just hitting everybody with a spear or running into a corner of a table, or the announce table. It just for them it might seem logical, but obviously everybody has an issue with it going from internal and external. Everybody has an issue with it.
It's not hard to leave something for the imagination, right? You think about these sitcoms back in the day, and think about whenever you used to get a show and something crazy happens, and then you got the to be continued, and then you had to wait a whole week to see it happen and figure out what the ending to the sitcom or whatever the show was that you was watching, right? You
I
can
got
do the same. You can do the same damn thing here.
I got on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
key man.
Point.
Moesha had a bunch of cliffhangers. Had me on the edge of my seat.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
You can keep people hanging instead of touching on it next week. You can touch on it the following Monday. There's nothing wrong with that. Use that time to build another storyline. I don't know, man.
Well, so we could go on about this all day. Let's move on. Speaking of long-term storytelling, next topic is when/will Jacob turn on Solo?
It's coming.
Oh, it's happening.
It's coming. And the reason why I know it, the reason why.
When y'all think? Solo showed up on Friday. He was rocking the all white. Then Jacob and Tamatanga were out there, and they were looking for him. And then they find him sitting in the locker room, and he's just sitting there thinking. Jacob tries to talk to him, then he tries to walk away. Solo grabs him. I'm doing a Cliff Note version, everybody. You can go watch the clip if you want everything for real. And he says to Jacob, I love you. Jacob looks at him, and then he walks away. Tamatanga lingers, and then he walks away. So we know it is going to happen, but when do we think it will happen?
They fighting at Mania.
I think it's going to happen before WrestleMania.
That's the reports.
I think it's going to happen right before WrestleMania. Honestly, I think it's going to happen on the SmackDown before WrestleMania, and then they're going to make it a late edition match to WrestleMania.
Do you think that any of it is going to be related to Solo acknowledging Roman? Or
possibly
is it just gonna be Solo's getting in Jacob's way now? Because to me, that's what it seemed like it is gonna be Solo getting in Jacob's way of everything now.
I see it more being that Jacob and Tamatanga feeling like Solo deserted them without any explanation. He lost the time. He lost his match. He lost the Ulafala. He lost the right to call himself tribal chief. And when they still had his back, he came out there. He didn't say a word. Didn't even say anything to them. And he just got out of the ring and left. And then ever since that day, Jacob Fatu has been on a tear, letting everybody know that he has arrived and SmackDown is his show. He don't give a damn about anything else. Told Jay to his face that if anybody gonna bring the title back to the family, it ain't gonna be you. Like he's like puffing his chest out, really exerting himself. He's gone at Priest. He's gone at LA Knight. And I believe, and then Solo shows up in the all white like a rebirth, like he's born again. He's telling Jacob that he loves him because he knows that Jacob is unhinged and he got to try to rein him back in. But I think his approach is going to be different. I want to
comment on that. So one, I think this is another one of those long-term storyline things. I think you got to go back to when Jey Uso cut the promo and was talking about why'd you have to go get them? We don't fool with them
for a reason.
And that bring the fact that you just made that statement about him being unhinged and everything, that goes back to that part of the segment, right? But when it comes down to Solo, you got to think about it. It's not just him losing to Ulafala, okay? Solo has lost the last, 2 title matches that he's had, on top of losing the Ulafala to Roman, on top of them losing Survivor Series, okay? So Solo hasn't, even though Solo was proclaimed head of the table, I mean, his action all of last year to damn near now he hasn't been holding down his end of the bargain when it comes down to being head of the table. So I kind of feel like Solo, this is the part where Jacob kind of turns on Solo, and I think that they're going to build that up, especially with him wearing the all white now. Right?
Do you think that Solo is, because Solo claims to be the more smarter out of their family, that he was saying stuff last week like to play mind games with Jacob? Because he never once said, he told Jacob, like, it starts with you. It starts with you, like, for our family to get built up. And like, he never said that I have to do this. He told Jacob it starts with you qualifying for Elimination Chamber, you going to WrestleMania, and you winning the title. Like, do you think that Solo is trying to play mind games with him to still try to keep some kind of control?
I think so. I think that he's trying to give him that. I want to say it's the same thing on this. It's this. It's very similar to when Roman Reigns was telling Jey Uso that he's the next head of the table, and he was trying to build up that allegiance and build up that loyalty by telling him that, right?
But it's not going to work the same way.
But at the end of the day, it's not going to work. It didn't work with Jay. I mean, Jay finally came to his senses.
Well, it worked during that process, but him doing it with Jacob, he's trying to use with his superior, with his master taught him, but it ain't gonna work this way.
It's not gonna work. It's
work with Jacob.
So this is my thing. I believe that all right. I don't. It's a saying, but I know I'm not gonna say it right, so I'm gonna just say it the way I think the way I'm thinking it. You got to be careful about who you go after, because you'll end up being just like them. And Solo is being just like Roman.
Yep.
He's trying to manipulate, and he's going to end up being. He is going to be the reason for his own downfall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned, when he came back, Solo and Tama Tonga were still rocking with him. They still had his back no matter what. And what did he do? He was feeling so sorry for himself that he disregarded them and didn't care that they were still riding with him. And he took his ball and went home to cry about it for a while, and then decided to make this grand return wearing the all white and all that. And he's just literally just digging his own grave. And
he did the same thing Roman did.
Exactly, same thing Roman did. And just like Xander is saying, I agree with this. Jacob is probably going to say to him, I loved you, past tense, Solo. And then that's when he attacks him. I could definitely see that happening. But the whole point is Solo is going to be the reason for his own downfall, just like Roman was.
I don't even think Jacob's going to tell him I loved you. I think Jacob's more going to tell him that you failed the family, and then attack him.
Well, it's going to lead. I see Tama Tonga being the brute of elimination, because he's always going to be the one that's going to take a punch that leads to Jacob Fatu going haywire, and you know what I'm saying. So, but I mean, I feel like they're going to fight at WrestleMania.
Now, do we also see Tungaloa coming back anytime soon?
The GOAT? I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
Because I kind of feel like they're kind of dragging this on for him to make his return before they turn on Solo too.
Or Tala Tonga.
Tala Tonga. All right. Jay, you were in the building for this announcement. And I kept telling Calvin because I was like, this is gonna be an unsanctioned match. Listen to how they're talking. So, what are y'all thoughts on KO and Sammy having an unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber?
Weak, but it is what it is.
I hate the fact that Sami Zayn KO have the same type of relationship that Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa have, like freaking identical damn storylines. This shit is crazy.
All this unsanctioned matches is just to make sure that it's not an official match, so that they
who's
can
gonna
build.
who's gonna end up getting taken off TV for months?
Most likely it's gonna be Sami Zayn, because it makes more sense for Sami Zayn to get taken out to make his grand re-entrance, let's say a week or two before WrestleMania, to set up KO versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania in an official match. That's the way I see it.
I feel like he's gonna get. I feel like Sammy's probably about to get repackaged. Something with this whole thing with Karrion Kross, and now that Karrion Kross is by himself and he still keeps pinpointing Sammy, I feel like everybody that Karrion Kross runs into somehow gets a repackage, right? Whether they become, well, shit, all of them have became heel pretty much. So we about to see how this affects Sammy. I don't know. I'm not saying that him and Karrion Kross are gonna become allies or anything like that, but I feel like he's about to. He's just about to be more like KO. In other words,
if they do become like a team, then I see it happening after Sammy loses to KO at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and then Karrion Kross gets in his ear a little bit more, which ends up flipping him to that side.
Yeah.
All right. I agree. I can agree with that. All right. These are going to be real quick. Michael Cole's thoughts on the Corey Graves situation. He was on the Logan Paul podcast, and he said what Corey Graves tried to do was he tried to explain to everyone that he was trying to generate some interest in maybe some type of storyline. I don't think the company saw it that way.
No, the hell he wasn't.
What are your thoughts?
He was bitter. He was salty as fuck, and the backlash that he got from making his post, he tried to con his way out of it, and we ain't buying that shit.
Exactly.
We are not buying that sorry ass excuse that he just came up with.
No.
You was mad as fuck that they bumped you down to NXT. Just be honest. I'm telling
you. He was honest, and it just didn't go well.
I'm saying be honest with this part. You salty as hell because they moved you down to NXT. We get it. We understand. You wasn't trying to create no damn storyline. Nah, we're not falling for that. No, we're not letting you off with that one, Playboy.
Any additional thoughts, JD?
Nope. Jay said it. I agree.
So Weed is now unbanned from WWE ban list. Any thoughts?
Weed doesn't do anything anyway but make you happy and hungry. Let it go.
Yeah, we gonna see.
It's about time, because you got too many places now that it's legalized in. So if it's it's kind of the same thing with federal employees and all this other kind of stuff. They just need to let the shit go when it comes down to weed. Let it go. It's weed. It's weed. Weed doesn't make you fucking rob people for money. Weed doesn't make you steal from your family for money. Like, just let the shit go.
It might make you wrestle slow.
That's that rock that gets you stealing from your family.
That's what I'm saying. Weed makes you sleepy, hungry, happy, or tired. That's all it does.
All right. So we're gonna finish out with AEW Grand Slam results. So did y'all watch it? It was on free TV.
I watched it.
First off, we gotta talk about this small ass ring, bro. What the fuck was that?
Okay,
I can't get over it.
I knew you was gonna bring it up.
I hate.
How could I not?
I hate the fact that they tried to flip this because the initial report came out and was that Tony Khan misjudged the shipping process and the timetable, so they had to borrow one. Then another story
From
came
who?
out.
From who?
Oh, from
High
Will
school?
Ospreay. No, Will Ospreay has some buddies in the Indies over there in Australia,
Oh my god!
and that's where
I'm
they
sure he did.
utilized it from,
I
right?
feel like they
So they
went to somebody's backyard that does like backyard wrestling, and they was like, "Hey, fella, let me get that ring for a little bit. We'll pay you some money."
Hey, hey,
but
fella.
then it came out saying that he didn't want to spend the money for the shipping to bring all their equipment over, and they just
I don't believe it. I don't believe that. That
utilized the indie stuff.
he spent money on everything, so I don't believe that.
Right.
Here's my point. Okay, the reason why the scenario number 2 doesn't make sense is because why would anybody in their right fucking mind book anything overseas knowing that this shit gonna cost money, but you don't want to pay for shipping to ship the fucking ring and the rest of the stuff over there?
That's why I don't
Bro,
That's
believe
the
it.
dumbest thing in the world.
you
I'd
had
rather go with scenario number 1,
yeah,
where why just lie and say the shit got held in customs, okay? It got tied
yeah.
up in customs and we couldn't get it out in time. I
Instead of
accept
you
that lying
instead
ass
of you
excuse.
using you had to use milk carton ass steps as as your ring steps, the middle school milk carton steps that people was doing the challenge with, and then the ring, a 16 by 16. Jay,
You
you
can
talk.
you can tell, like, honestly though, on a real talk, you can tell that wrestlers, especially when they had that small ass ring, you
Hmm.
could just tell how uncomfortable they were in the ring when they were wrestling, right?
Yeah.
With the estimation and closing the gap and performing
Hmm.
certain moves and everything like that. Like when you're used to something and you're used to like a standard size ring, and then you're cutting that down by a third or whatever it is, like
Yeah.
that makes a difference.
Man,
Like people,
Buddy Matthews he twisted his ankle before the match even started because he said it was a hole in the ring. When he said that, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this janky shit." He still put on a good
Well,
performance.
well. Speaking of Will Ospreay, him and Kenny Omega defeated Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Mercedes defended her. She retained her TBS championship against Harley Cameron. Moxley and Claudio defeated Cope and Switchblade in the Brisbane Brawl. Okada defeated Buddy Matthews, speaking of him, in a
Hmm.
great match, by the way, to retain the Continental Championship.
Hmm.
And Tony Storm defeated Mariah May to become a four-time AEW Women's Champion. She's the Moxley of the women's division.
Hey,
Four-time champion.
let's just. I saw that Tony Storm won before the thing before the show even started.
you know, there's always gonna be spoilers whenever it comes down to overseas stuff.
I ain't
Well,
lying.
good thing I didn't see not one spoiler, so I was good about that.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. So
Listen,
Uh,
all I'm gonna say is AEW do better. If you're gonna go overseas, do better. That's it.
Speaking of AEW, I have a good and a bad. The good, shout out to Ricochet, just cut the best promo of your life last night. Finally, I loved it. The bad, Thunder Rosa, you my girl, but what the fuck was that with you in that damn steel chair? Go back and watch it. But I don't know what the hell that was. But that's all I got for AEW. Y'all good?
oh
I'm
yeah,
good.
I'm good. Oh, I do want to say something. I forgot to mention last week. So they had AEW had their little they cruise little event, and
The
Big
Jericho
Bill
Cruise.
finally teamed back up with
Enzo.
Enzo Amore. That
Oh
was
yeah.
a little interesting thing. I forgot to mention that last week. So they did a
Oh,
little blast from the past.
and the last thing I want to admit, it's not AEW because I don't care too shit about AEW. But I gotta give a shout out to Maurice for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh
Maurice
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or
No, I'm
Michelle
sorry,
McCool?
Michelle McCool.
Michelle
Michelle
McCool. Yeah.
McCool. I'm
I'm
tripping.
gonna say Maurice.
Michelle McCool. And then I don't know how true this is. I was trying to track it down. I haven't seen anything. I think people be trolling around this time and they be posting up shit. Because I saw something about Rikishi getting put into the Hall of Fame too. But I haven't seen another post anywhere else outside of this one post. So I don't think it's true or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay, so then, but brings me to just to end this off real quick. Do you think Rikishi is a Hall of Famer for WWE?
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah.
I do. I feel like Rikishi, and just from what we remember when he was with Too Cool, like they kind of changed the dynamic. They gave it a lot more entertainment type aspect
To
when
the
they
tag
did.
team division?
Yeah, when they did a lot of their stuff, the dances and everything.
I agree with
I
that.
do. I do like Rikishi when he did have his serious moments. Rikishi probably had like one. I'll say in the top 10 spots when he jumped off the steel cage.
Yeah.
Um, when he landed in the truck, and then when he did the Uso splash off the steel cage. So, I feel like what he did, stink face and everything like that, with a lot of stuff that he did elevated WWE history and all that. So I feel like he's a Hall of Famer.
So my last question, and then we can end this off. Do you think Rikishi should go into the Hall of Fame by himself? Or do you think he should go into the Hall of Fame with Too Cool because they kind of trendsetted like during that time, during that era? Do you think he's a Hall of Famer by himself, or do you think he's just a Hall of Famer with that faction that he was part of?
I feel like he's a Hall of Famer by himself.
Yeah, he's.
I feel like he could. I feel like he could. I feel like he could be a two-time, to be honest, because what he did solo went into Too Cool, and then he continued his solo career after Too Cool. So I feel like he could be a two-time Hall of Famer.
I agree with that.
Because a lot of the stuff that he did a lot of tag team work early on in his career with his brother. Yeah. He did a lot of solo stuff, and then when he started embarking on the Yokozuna type ish, and then when he came into Too Cool, when he was like real face, and then when he broke out of Too Cool, he maintained a lot of stuff. He had some good rivals with Rock, Undertaker, Vince McMahon, like with the Kiss My Ass Club and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like Rikishi is definitely deserving of it, man.
Okay.
All right. So I got quite a few subscriber questions, but we went over on a lot of topics. So I had one that was dealing with the women's division. I'm not going to ask that one. I'm going to ask an easy one. Let's see. This is from Tion. Will Drew McIntyre ever get another title run with WWE?
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
I think he will. I think
he'll get one more.
He'll get a World Heavyweight Championship.
I believe it'll be the World Heavyweight Championship. I have to agree with that.
Well, it just says title run. It doesn't say which one.
Well, okay. Let me see. The way that
the one that he lost was the secondary one. Remember?
It was the Universal Championship.
No, it was the WWE. It was the WWE one. Yeah. The one that Priest cashed in on.
Yeah.
After he beat Seth.
I mean, so technically he already did have a small run.
But no, like a real run.
Yes, and I just hope that he's a heel when he has his run.
I mean, he's a heel now, so
he has to be a heel. Drew McIntyre's character is way better as a heel.
Drew McIntyre is as a face is the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have to agree.
He just doesn't embody face.
It's the same thing as like when the Miz goes face. I can't stand it when the Miz is face.
The Miz,
I hate it.
the Miz, I can understand. I could deal with being face a little more, only because the Miz, I don't know his attitude. I don't know. It can go either way for me. He's definitely
The
better as a
worst
heel.
thing, the worst thing about the Miz when he was face was listening to him trying to rap R-Truth's intro, and it was so cringe. Like it
Nah,
was
you're
just
right. You're right. Miz does get very cringy when he's face.
Yeah, he does.
Most people do. But all right, y'all. This has been episode 139. I believe we answered the question: does NXT have better storylines than the main roster? Especially with all our gripes that we have with the main roster, and how NXT seems to be a little bit more precise. So I believe we did answer that question. But I am your man Trey, aka OTR Trey, aka Treyway, aka Thursday Night Trey.
it's your boy Jay, aka Rant Jay, aka Full Time Jay, aka Thursday Night Jay.
Peace, y'all. JD, aka OTR, mic drop. You already know. Premonition boy. We out. See y'all next week.
Oh, we're gonna have them when we do our elimination predictions. We're gonna have them fight for the name of the Oracle. This is too hilarious.
I'm not the Oracle no more. I said I'm
Winner,
Mr. Premonition.
winner. Most
Jake
predictions
can have
correct
it.
gets the name Oracle. That's so
Oh,
fun.
most predictions?
I'm not
Yeah.
taking it. I'm not
Most
taking it
predictions
till my.
correct gets the name Mr. Oracle or the
I'm
Oracle.
fine. I'm
Jay's
fine with
already
that
said it.
because
No,
I'm not
Jay-
taking it till my predictions come true.
Jay said I think it was like 2 weeks ago. He was talking about like the WrestleMania predictions. If he got this WrestleMania prediction that he had said, you got to listen back 2 more episodes. He said he was gonna take the name.
Yep.
Was it a specific prediction or just
Yeah.
an overall card? A specific
it was
for a specific match.
a specific
Okay.
prediction, a specific match. If this happened, he said he was taking it. So you gotta go back and listen.
All right. I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
See I remember what it was. I ain't gonna give it to y'all though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace. We out.
Peace.